mamas, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista from Hebert's Down Home. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I would love to have you click that subscribe button down below. Today we are talking about Trim Healthy Mama and what do we do when life gets super busy. It seems like it's been a long time since we have talked Trim Healthy Mama on my channel. Most of my videos in general this summer have been kind of few and far between, and so it is time to try to get back on track and back on schedule. We'll see if that really happens. Summer isn't over yet, and things are about to get busier around here. So I'll talk about that in another video, but today I wanted to talk about Trim Healthy Mama and how do we stay on plan when life gets super busy or throws you some unexpected curveballs. This summer I have been rereading the plan book. It is just time to kind of freshen up and tighten things up. I think that when I first started, I did the plan very simply because I could only understand the basics. Now that I understand more of it, I think I've added a lot of fluff and actually made it a lot more complicated for myself, if that makes sense. So I am rereading the plan book, trying to go back to some of the basics. Yes, there are some things that I really enjoy. Some of the fluff I love, and I'm going to keep doing it. But I think that it's important that we go back to the basics and reread the book and understand it. Now here I am, a year and a half, close to 2 years later, and I just think that I'll understand the plan book so much better at this point and maybe have a few aha moments in there of some things that I can do better when it comes to Trim Healthy Mama. I ate very simply when I first started out. I had kind of a breakfast and lunch rotation that I did. I ate many of the same breakfasts. Sometimes I'd eat the same thing for breakfast for a whole week, or I'd alternate between two things back and forth, maybe an S breakfast and an E breakfast and an S breakfast and an E breakfast. And I just had a short list of lunch items that I kind of rotated through, and that made it super easy to stay on plan, and I didn't have to use too much brain power. That's what happens to me when life gets super busy. I just give up because I have to think too hard to figure out, okay, what am I gonna eat? So to go back to that rotation is super helpful. Also for supper items or the evening meal that's bigger for our family, thinking about things like crock pot meals that I can throw in ahead of time or grilling that Monty can do for me. It's super easy to just throw some chicken on the grill or some hamburgers. The kids love that stuff and so do I, and we can stay on plan that way, and those are easy meals, doesn't heat up the house during the summertime, but also it is simple and you don't have to think too hard. So going back to those basic things, how were you successful in the beginning, and going back to those things to try to be more successful again. So rereading the plan book, making sure that I understand the concepts better, maybe having some aha moments, and simplifying what I'm doing, I think is gonna help me out a lot in this busy season. So another thing that I have been doing is making double batches of recipes. So when I'm making supper, if I'm making lazy lasagna or something like that, you guys know how many dishes a lot of these Trim Healthy Mama recipes take. They just kind of destroy the whole kitchen. So I'm thinking, why not just double it up, make two at once, and make things a little bit simpler on myself. In those busier seasons of life, when we get into those, I'll have some things backlogged in the freezer. I can pull them out, thaw them, and bake them and be good to go. And that's gonna help us to stay on plan as well. Now, if you're big into freezer cooking, go for it. You guys have probably heard my story. I have done freezer cooking in the past, but I totally burned myself out before Jackson was born. That was 5 years ago. I made 60 meals. I had 2 months worth of meals in my deep freeze, and it was glorious not to have to cook for all that time. But I totally burned myself out, and I just feel like I don't have the days and weeks to give to freezer cooking at this point. But if I'm already making something, just to make double of that is super easy for me. So at this point in the game, that's what I'm doing. I know I have busier season coming, and so I am making sure I'm making doubles of things whenever I can. If I have the ingredients on hand, or even with my grocery hauls, sometimes I'm picking up doubles of things just so that I can pack that freezer full when I'm already making items. So that was another thing that I'm gonna do to keep going through this busy season, to keep us on plan, out of the drive-thru and away from those convenience items. Okay, real life mom confession. it looks, you know, peaceful out here, but I am running in and outside. You know, when you're seeing these breaks in the video, it's because I have to run inside and break up a fight and get everybody settled back down again so that I can come back out here and sit and look peaceful. So just real life, true life mom confession about what is happening in the background. So there you go. All right, so, nope. Oh, I don't know if I'll ever get through this video. Take like 253. All right, here we go. What? Nope, not yet. I'll come tell you when you can, but you guys need to stay in your room for a little bit so I can get this done. So I'm gonna give credit for this next idea because it's one that I'm modifying. Amy Roberts at Raising Arrows gave the suggestion that we as mamas keep a 1-week emergency meal plan and grocery list on hand. So super easy. Let's just Trim Healthy Mamify that emergency meal plan and grocery list. And that way, when we get into a super busy season or something, an emergency comes up or whatever, you know, we've had times where we've had kids in the hospital or something like that, and people have definitely pitched in, family or friends have pitched in to help out. It would be super easy just to hand them this and say, hey, can you go to the store and get this list of stuff? Make it super easy items, crock pot meals, things that your family is familiar with. You know, for us, we have some older kids that can cook some meals easily that they're familiar with. So make sure those types of things are on the list, but make it Trim Healthy Mama friendly so that you as a family can stay on plan throughout that season of difficult things. But just having that emergency meal plan and grocery list on hand is gonna make it super easy. When things like that happen, I just can't stay organized enough and keep my brain is obviously focused on the traumatic event that's happening, whether it's a child in the hospital or a parent who's sick or whatever, and it's really hard for me to think through those things. So to already have that list on hand, even if it's just, hey Monty, can you run to the store and pick up these things? These are the meals that are gonna get us through this week. That's gonna be super helpful to already have that on hand, to have that emergency backup plan ready to go. So that's something else that I am going to have on hand for this upcoming busy season, because I don't know how long the chaos and the busyness is going to last. And so just to have that 1 week or more, you know, meal plan on hand so that we are ready to go is gonna be super helpful. The last thing I want to say is just be realistic and give yourself grace during those crazy busy times. Obviously, I'm not going to have this grandiose plan of losing weight during a super busy season of life. My idea would be to maintain, do the best I can, eat as healthy as I can, and give myself grace. I always come back to that one. I always come back to give myself grace, because I think that's what keeps me on plan. If I can give myself grace and say, it's okay, I'm gonna do my best right now, and then I'm gonna go hardcore back on plan as soon as I can and just get that done. I also think accept meals from your friends. They're gonna bring meals that aren't 100% on plan, but take them. Just be thankful, and it's okay. Do your best. Everything in moderation. Just eat small portions, whatever you have to do, but let your friends feed your family. Don't let the plan stop you from being blessed by your friends or by your family who are willing to help out. Everything won't be perfect. It just won't be, but that's okay. During that season of life, when things are really crazy, things are happening, I just encourage you just to let people help you. And that's gonna mean being willing to be off plan a little bit. And, you know, I even think going back to the basics of, you know, okay, if you have your breakfasts and lunches that are on plan, if somebody brings in, you know, a dinner or a supper for your family, you can eat a little bit off plan and you're gonna be okay. And then once this season of chaos is over, you can go right back on plan and you're gonna be just fine. I have maintained through seasons easily like that. Kind of limp it through, try not to use too much brain power, try not to overthink it, give yourself a ton of grace. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that these tips are helpful for you. I hope that your families are not in a time of chaos, but if they are, I hope that these help you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.